I think every time you see a self-harming client, then you've got an opportunity to make a difference. I mean, one of the differences, of course, is engaging with that service user in a way that begins to make them feel they want to come back to the service, whatever, in general, the NHS service. Because obviously one of the things that happens if they get a bad experience is they won't come back. I mean, most self-harmers don't go to the service, and we don't know about most self-harmers. We really, really don't. They're a hidden population, and probably more so amongst men than women. So it's really important to have an experience which is a good experience. Now, the good experience is not going to be transformatory in the sense that they're going to change as a result of that encounter, but there's going to be a shift in their relationship to the sort of caring institution towards, say, the NHS in this circumstance. Because, I mean, the kind of people that I've seen who've been self-harming, they'll have been self-harming for maybe 30, 40, 50 years, some of them, and they'll have had bad experience after bad experience. Now, it doesn't really help them to feel that they're going to say, look, I want to come back and have some more of this. What happens is that they only go in extremis when they have to go, because they're in such a terrible state. But if they have an encounter with somebody who says, look, even in a 10-minute consultation, I'm going to really try and get to some sort of understanding. Even forget about understanding, acceptance, really. That's all that needs to happen. In some sort of sense, there's a human being who's accepting another human being and is interested in them. That's very, very profoundly important. It then opens up a space in which you can then say to that person, look, we've had an interesting discussion. This is obviously a terrible time for you and all the rest of it. Would you like to sort of consider thinking about having further psychological work? Now, so that 10-15 minute encounter could be massively pivotal, not in the sense that they've changed the result of that encounter, but they've shifted to sort of saying, okay, I want to carry on thinking about this in a way which does give me a continuation of the experience I'm having with you, which is that you're kind of accepting me, making me feel that it's worth kind of exploring. I'm a worthwhile person, it's worth bothering with. I mean, remember, one of the things about the self-harmers is they absolutely hate themselves most of the time. They've got horrible, terrible feelings about themselves. So if anybody is giving them a slightly different experience, a validating experience, there's a therapist who talks about the kind of invalidating environment that so many self-harmers come from, that if you give them a validating experience that says, no, what you're going through is real, in brackets, I might not think this is the best way of you doing it, but I'm not going to say anything about that, I'm going to remain silent about that for the time being, close brackets, then they can feel that they're having a real experience in which something about them has been accepted. Maybe, and that's maybe the point you're making, which makes it really pivotal, is maybe like they've never had before. So, at that point, you can either make it a possibility that they'll then move on to something else, or you can just reinforce the problem, which is create yet another sort of invalidating experience. It's like, well, life is shit, and this is what you get. Doesn't matter whether they're professional or not. They're just the same, because that's what they expect.